Hey, it's me, Bobbert, and welcome to my prediction video for E3 2019. Before I get started with the actual predictions, just want to say that I'm going to talk about every major company, the major three companies in this one video, plus some third party stuff. Going to start with PlayStation, then Xbox, Nintendo, then third party. Second, to finish the scene right here, is Valkyria Chronicles 4. I really do recommend this game if you enjoy turn-based RPG with some strategy. It's a really good game. Go check it out after watching this video. And third, the predictions are going to be somewhat tame. There's going to be some crazy one here and there, but for the most part, it's going to be mostly talking about stuff that's already been kind of announced. With that being said, let's begin with PlayStation. Now, I know that PlayStation is not going to be at the actual event during their usual press conference, but I do think they're going to have a state of play where they're going to talk about their stuff as well as some third party. Mostly they're going to talk about games that they're coming out with and save the third party stuff for later. So, my first prediction is there'll be no mission of the PlayStation 5. If I think they're going to mission it during E3, I think they would at least been on the show floor, just like Nintendo and Microsoft are doing to show it off. But since they're pretty much going cold turkey for E3 for the most part, I don't think they're going to talk about PlayStation 5 at all. Second prediction is The Last of Us 2 is going to be the main holiday title. They're going to talk a lot about that. And that's pretty much it. Dead Ghost of Tsushima, that one's going to be a spring 2020 title. And the last prediction, mainly because I think they're going to save all the big game stuff when they talk about the PlayStation 5, is Death Stranding. I think they're going to show it off a bit, still keep it kind of vague like they usually do. And originally, I thought it was going to be a PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 game, have both versions, but since I'm hearing rumors that the PlayStation 5 is going to be backwards compatible with the PlayStation 4, I don't see any point in that. I feel like one of those three big games is going to be ported over to the PlayStation 5 and be one of the big launch titles, and I think Death Stranding would be an interesting one for sure. I would have more predictions for PlayStation, but I don't think they're going to talk about the PlayStation 5 in any capacity. I think it's going to be a short state of play for the most part, or at least mostly talk about the big games that's coming out within the year. Now on to Xbox. Xbox has some interesting things to show us, potentially. Let's start with Gears of War 5. That's going to be the main focus in this press conference, and it's coming out holiday 2019, most likely. Next, let's talk about Halo Infinite. I think that's going to be a 2020 title. It's going to be technically a launch title for the brand new Xbox they're going to show off. A little bit more on that. And I think it's going to be on multiple platforms, including the Xbox One, PC, and possibly the Nintendo Switch, if the rumors are correct. Mainly because I think this Halo Infinite game is going to be a battle royale, playing against possibly 100 different players at once. I think it still may have a single player story. Maybe it's just like a small one to please the fans, but it's going to be a battle royale for the most part, and Microsoft like to get the games on multiple platforms, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's on that many platforms. And of course, they're going to show off the new Xbox, and I think that's going to be released in 2020, either holiday 2020, or if they feel like taking a page off of Nintendo's book, they make it like summer of 2020. Next is another rumor I heard of is that there's going to be a new Conqueror Banjo because of the company that makes figurines of them. I forget the company's name, but they made figurines of Banjo and Kazooie and Conquer. Uh, and I think they are gonna, appear at the show floor. They were invited by Rare, but it's gonna be for Battletoads. Last year, Battletoads was announced, and even though it's not being made by Rare themselves, I don't think so. It's still a Rare property, and they're gonna announce like a pre-order bonus for Battletoads figurines for the most part. At least that's my guess. The big surprise is gonna be Fable 4. Well, it would have been a big surprise if there wasn't so many rumors about it being made by Playground Games. I think that's going to be the last thing you're going to show off. And for my one crazy prediction for Xbox is a new project by Rare. I hear reports of them showing off new DLC for Sea of Thieves. I really hope not. They should just put that game to an end. I don't think people are going to buy it or play it anymore. I mean, I'm sure it's a good game for what it is, and people are enjoying it, but I want to see something new from Rare. Oh, Nintendo. I'm looking at what they announced already for 2019 and possibly beyond, and I don't really see them announcing anything brand new, or at least not a whole lot in this EG Direct. I mean, not that talking about stuff that's already been announced is a bad thing, but they usually have like a limited time, usually about somewhere between 25 to 35 minutes. I don't really see them announcing a whole lot of new stuff. That's all I'm just saying. But the first thing you gotta focus on is Animal Crossing. You gotta reveal a whole lot of details, and assuming that's coming out this year, it's probably gonna be the maybe October or December title. Most likely, Pokemon is going to be the November title. It's going to be doing its own thing. It's not going to be in this direct. That's how the Pokemon Company usually do things. The second game, Luigi Mansion 3. Uh, talk about that one. Most likely coming out in October 2019. Uh, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening remake. I'm guessing September 2019. Already mentioned Pokemon's doing its own thing. I think the rumors of Metroid Prime trilogy is true, and it's going to come out in December 2019. And of course, the other rumor, Persona 5 for Nintendo Switch, is also going to be announced. I think that one may be a spring 2020 title. Probably it's going to have its own Joker amiibo, packed in. Speaking of Smash Brothers, well, I wasn't talking about Smash Brothers, but Smash Brothers. Of course, they're gonna announce a new character, but I think they're gonna announce not one but two characters. The first character they're gonna talk about is probably gonna open the direct. I'm not sure which one it is. Let's say a Square Enix character from Dragon Quest. I'm not familiar with that series, but I heard a lot of rumors talking about a Dragon Quest character being one of those fives. I think that one would be announced, and it would be playable like a couple months away. And the other Smash Brothers picked, the other character is going to announce at the end of the direct, and I think that one's going to be Banjo Kazooie, and he's going to be playable like right after the Nintendo Direct. I think Nintendo would do something like that. A crazy prediction, I'm sure, but I, I'm hoping for that. Uh, Bayonetta 3, most likely they're not going to talk about that. The only way they're going to talk about that is, they show a little teaser trailer, say Bayonetta 3 2020. Most likely that's when it's going to come out. And then they're going to jump right into Astro Chain, which is also being made by Platinum Games, to help promote that game a little bit. I'm hearing rumors that Mario Kart 9 would be announced. I don't see that happening, mainly because to have that game work aside the Mario Kart Tour on the mobile phones to promote that, have some faction together. Uh, I don't know. It just doesn't seem enough room for it. I mean, I'm sure Mario Kart is going to sell well regardless, but I just don't see that happening. Uh, I got two more here. Super Nintendo games streaming available. I think they gonna finally put Super Nintendo games in the NES collection, or I guess Super Nintendo collection now. And Pikmin 4 would probably be the biggest surprise that is, well, at least possible in my eyes. But then again, people keep saying that, including myself, and we still haven't heard nothing for years. So fingers crossed. And that's it for Nintendo. That's one third party. I'm not going to talk about uh, a lot about them, mainly because I don't really keep up with even some of the major ones. I have like six prediction here from different companies, and that'll be it. First one is from Sega. Now I've been hearing reports that Sega wants to port some of the older game or remake them, and I think the best game they could port or remake, well, let me reiterate that. Uh, if they want a good port or remake that will definitely sell well, guaranteed, pretty much is a Sonic game. Unfortunately, I mean I like the franchise, but I do want to see something else from Sega. But the best Sonic game that they could port to all consoles is Sonic Colors. That is a pretty good game. Give it an HD coding, maybe add a few other stuff, and that'd be great. I think fans will jump on that, and I think it will sell more than the original Wii and DS version. Ubisoft, I think they're gonna work with Nintendo on another project, possibly another Mario game. I'm not sure if it's gonna be Mario plus Rabbids 2. Maybe something with Star Fox. Maybe like its own standalone game. Nothing affiliated with Starlink. That'd be pretty interesting. But I do think that Ubisoft and Nintendo are going to work on something again. Next, Rocksteady Games most likely going to work on Superman, at least based on the rumors I've been hearing. Uh, it does sound like it's going to happen. I think Rocksteady Games are going to show off the Superman game. Going to be available on all platforms except for Nintendo Switch, most likely. I think Capcom's going to finally announce Mega Man X9, or whatever the next game in the X series. They teased that uh, in the X Legacy Collection. And I think it's time now, and possibly coming out in fall 2019. I'm hoping that Activision is making a new Crash Bandicoot game that's going to be announced this year. Again, I really doubt that. And even if they do announce that, I'm kind of have some doubts that it would be actually good. I mean, the Insane Trilogy was pretty good, but it's a big difference than taking pretty much the assets that, the assets, the level design that Naughty Dog took, Naughty Dog made, and take that and give it an HD coding. I'm not saying that's an easy job, or that they didn't do any changes that made the game better. They definitely made some improvements to the original, but I do have some doubts that they could create a Crash Bandicoot game, from scratch. And the last one is Suda51. I think he's going to tease No More Heroes 3, possibly on the Nintendo Direct. Then again, that sounds more like an indie Direct thing. But whatever the case, I think No More Heroes 3 will finally be shown. And that's pretty much it for third parties. I hope you enjoy watching this. Sorry if I took it a bit too long. I try to run through all this as fast as I can. And be sure to watch my other content like Let's Plays, reviews, and whatever I decide to post on this channel. This is me, Bobbert 33, and I catch you guys later.